Good morning. I hope you guys are well. I was supposed to post this word yesterday, but it's probably going to be a long word, so I have to make sure that I was well rested to be able to post it for you guys. But I'm going to start off by saying this. I was praying and I had a vision and I saw flames. And at first I thought it was negative. I thought like maybe it's the enemy trying to do something. Let me pray against it. And then I noticed that within the flames, there was a roaring lion. Okay. A roaring lion. Right after I saw the roaring lion, I saw the Lord. I saw God like walking through the flames with his robe. And instantly I was like mesmerized. Okay. So after I saw that, I knew it was positive. I was just so mesmerized by what I saw. Instantly, he said, Daniel. And the Lord led me to Daniel 6 and Daniel 4. After seeing that, I just sat on the word for a bit. I sat on what I saw. I read Daniel 6. I meditated on it. And I wanted to just kind of just wait for God to give me additional details. And the Lord gave me confirmation, not yesterday, but the night before. Okay. He mentioned that this word is specifically for someone, but there's many other people that can resonate with this as well. Okay. Sometimes you may go through something years later, and then you may actually end up coming back to the word because it may be something that may help you in that moment. Okay. So the Lord was saying that your family likes drama and you're different from them. Okay. They see your life as very entertaining. The types of things that you go through, the afflictions, the stress, being a sensitive chosen child of God, just the trials and tribulations that you have to endure. They see that as their entertainment. Now, I want to explain to you what the Lord highlighted to me pertaining to your family. He said that you are different from them. You are set apart. And drama follows you. Not because you ask for it, not because you do something to get involved in drama. The reason why drama seems to follow you is because people intentionally insert your name into places, into things that your name does not need to be in. And they do this on purpose to revolve drama around you. Okay. So they always insert you into problems, even if it's making things up, even if it's twisting your words, even if it's as simple as bringing up your past. The point of the matter is these people in your family, they see your life as entertainment. And because they like drama, they always look for an opportunity to insert your name into something, even if you're not even associated with them. They're trying to have negativity associated with your name, if you get what I'm saying, right? Because a lot of them, they are doing the very things that are detestable to the Lord. So before I read this, I want to mention to you that the reason why the Lord highlighted Proverbs 6 is because Daniel 6 talks about Daniel being an innocent man, Daniel being a very favored man, right? And Daniel also being falsely accused of doing something that he never did. There's a group of people that set up Daniel, and the way how they set up Daniel is they literally used something that was positive and to turn it against Daniel. They used Daniel's good character against him, inserted Daniel's name into drama, into gossip, into lies, because they had haughty eyes, because they were filled with envy. And what they did was they rushed to plot evil, and they also rushed to shed innocent blood. Okay. However, the Lord saved Daniel. But this is why the Lord brought me to Proverbs 6, because Proverbs 6 highlights all the characteristics that these individuals have and what they tried to do to Daniel. And this is exactly how your family has been operating. The Lord was highlighting to me that one thing will open a door to something else, which opens the door to something else, which opens the door to something else. Okay. So I'm going to read Proverbs 6 to you. Proverbs 6 verse 16 to 19. There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. Now, the reason why the Lord told me to highlight this is because just like the administrators in Daniel, right? Your family was doing the same thing. Many of them, you have to understand something. A person that has haughty eyes is also going to be the same person that has a lying tongue. A person that has a lying tongue is going to rush to plot and do wicked schemes, okay? And a person that plots to do wicked schemes is also going to be a person that pours out lies, who is a false witness. And a person who is a false witness also stirs up drama in the community. And a person that stirs up drama in the community and that's a false witness and that has haughty eyes and that has a lying tongue and that is quick to rush evil, then there's a possibility they would even rush to shed innocent blood, right? And many of you guys, these characteristics, this is what these people in your family were trying to do to you. A lot of them, they were plotting behind your back. They were haughty-eyeing you. They were lying on you. They were quick to rush into evil, even many of them plotting how they're going to take you out of here. And these are the things that are detestable to the Lord. And that is what they did to Daniel. They plotted how to get Daniel thrown into the lion's den in order to shed innocent blood. They plotted on how they're going to do this, and they ended up lying on Daniel. So now I'm going to read Daniel 6, and I'm going to highlight some very specific things for you, okay? Before I even start reading Daniel 6, I told you guys this in the beginning of this video. The Lord said that you are not like them. The kind of person you are, you having a good character through Christ, that is something that irritates your family. And the reason for this is because you are doing the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Everybody is picking up the phone, everybody's gossiping, everybody's plotting, everybody's lying. One person's planting this seed, one person's planting this seed, one person's twisting this story, one person's twisting that story, and everything is revolving around you. And you're not even involved, you're not even associated with them, you may not even be in contact with them, but everything is revolving around your life. No matter what you do, someone is trying to insert your name into something because they like the drama revolving around you. Because they cannot block you, because they cannot stop you, because they cannot taint your anointing, because they cannot stop the hand of God on your life, right? They're trying to force you into some sort of drama by inserting your name and by coming together as a group. And we all know that people that like to gossip, you're going to find them clicked up together. People that like to lie, they're going to be clicked up together. A lot of the times people click up together just to try to figure out ways on how to tear you down, because the Lord is covering you and because they know they cannot block or stop anything. That is the only sense of satisfaction they get, is when they all come together and talk about you. And we all know that sometimes your enemies, they need a crowd of people or they need a group to be able to feel like they're doing something right. We all know that one with God is majority. You're by yourself and you're just literally focused on God, and these people, they need a group. Now I'm going to read Daniel 6, okay? I'm going to start from number 3. Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his exceptional qualities that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. At this, the administrators and the satraps tried to find grounds for charges against Daniel in his conduct of government affairs, but they were unable to do so. They could not find no corruption in him because he was trustworthy and neither corrupt nor negligent. So do you see how they were trying to find everything possible to try to taint Daniel's image, and they couldn't find anything? That is what many of you guys are going through right now, okay, with your family. Okay, this is specifically revolving around family. It could be friends, it could be workplace, etc. But the Lord highlighted something about family, okay? You're not who you used to be in the past, okay? People cannot talk about your past no more. They can't talk about who you were when you were a teenager, who you were when you were a child, who you were in your earlier adult years or late adult years. They cannot talk about you because you have changed. And they're looking to find grounds to try to create havoc in your life. And they cannot find anything because you are walking upright with God, right? And they have to come together and group up and try to find ways on how to twist things to try to make you look bad, but they cannot find anything. They're looking for dirt to dig up and they cannot find anything. And again, this is why God said they love drama, because they literally have to gossip and make things up to create drama to entertain themselves. But it's all revolving around your life, right? So Let's continue. Finally, these men said, we will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel unless it has something to do with the law of his God. And I've mentioned this in the past. I'm like, look how they tried to use the very thing that Daniel was doing good against him. That's how many of you guys, you're going through a situation right now where you're minding your business, you're not in drama, you're focused on God, you're focused on the calling on your life, and you have good characteristics. And this is why God says your upright character through Christ is what is irritating them. It's what is irritating them. You're using everything that you're doing good and they're trying to twist it into something negative. Do you get what I'm saying? And in order to plant a seed to revolve drama around your life, to revolve drama with your name, right? The administrative and satraps went as a group to the king. So this is right after the king was planning to set Daniel among the whole kingdom. So the haughty eyes came from that. They saw the king was planning to do this. They saw where Daniel was heading, just like your family sees where you're going in life. Your family sees where you're heading, and this is why they were plotting. So these people had to come as a group to plot. It wasn't one of them plotting. They had to come together to try to figure out how they can block the king's plan for Daniel. Just like how they had to come together and figure out how they can block God's plan for your life. Okay? They went as a group to the king. May the king Darius live forever. The royal administrators, perfect satraps, and advisors and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce and decree that anyone who prays to any god or human being during the next 30 days, except to you, your majesty, shall be thrown in the lion's den. See, they knew that Daniel was going to pray to God. So they had to use something that Daniel does frequently that is good against him. This is the manipulative tactic. Enemy uses the same plot and schemes, but in various forms. Okay, so in the book of Exodus, Pharaoh did the same thing. Remember, he removed the straw from the Israelites, which made them work slower, which made them not meet the deadline for when things were supposed to be completed. And then he knew that that was going to happen. And then when that happened, he called them lazy, got them punished for something that he did to force them to fail. And this is exactly the same tactic that these men in Daniel were doing. They knew that Daniel was going to pray to God. So they had to use the very thing that was good, that kept Daniel upright. They had to use that very thing against him and to twist it. This is now the spirit of Leviathan operating through these men as well, twisting something that is positive, something that is good, and not only twisting it, but manipulating the king who likes Daniel, who has no idea what they're plotting, right? Manipulating him into signing something and sealing it. He's not even knowing what he's getting into. He's just agreeing and getting him to come against someone he even favors. But he had no idea what they're plotting. See, this is a manipulative, this is a Leviathan spirit. It's like when someone looks up to you and someone likes you, and somebody thinks highly of you, and they speak nothing but wellness about you, okay? And they speak nothing but blessings upon your life. And the people that don't like you, it's like they'll go to these people that think positively about you, that like you, and they will start planting a seed without saying exactly who the seed is about, right? See, they never told the king, oh, we think you should set this law and seal it because this law is about Daniel. They never said that. What they did was they manipulated the king into signing something and sealing something to go against his well wishes for Daniel, because he thinks highly of Daniel. So what they did, going to the king and telling the king to do this, it's no different from someone going to someone that likes you. And instead of saying your name, they start speaking all these negative things about you, but they don't tell the person who likes you that they're talking about you. Instead, they go in to plant a seed. They plant a seed. And the reason why they go and plant a seed, and they may not just go to one person, they'll go to a bunch of people that like you and start planting this negative seed about you without mentioning your name or mentioning who they're talking about. And the reason being is so later, when they reveal that they were talking about you. The seed has already been planted for some time, and it has been watered for some time. So now it's going to be more believable if later on they mention that they were talking about you. But in the beginning, they won't say they're talking about you. And the reason why they won't say they're talking about you is because they're trying to plant the seed and water the seed down. They want the person that they're talking to about you to engage, to participate, right? And when they engage and participate, that's them watering the seed. So that's coming to agreement with that manipulation. They're coming to agreement with this false information. And then later on, when they mention they're talking about you, it's more believable. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's what they did. That's the same manipulative tactic they did with the king. They didn't tell the king that this was about Daniel. They just told the king, we think you should create a law pertaining to this and seal it for the next 30 days, getting the king to come into agreement with that. And the king is not knowing it's going up against his well wishes for Daniel. Okay. And that's how some people will try to turn people against you. They may not go to these people and upright say your name, but they will go and start planting seeds. And then later on, they will mention it's you after these seeds are planted and after it's been watered to make it more believable. That is a Leviathan spirit, and that's also the spirit of Jezebel. Okay. Now, Your Majesty, issue the decree and put it in writing so that it can be altered in accordance to the law, the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed. Basically, they're telling him to seal it into a law that cannot be repealed. The reason why I said this is a manipulative tactic that not only Pharaoh used, it's the same manipulative tactic that Jezebel used in 1 Kings when she wrote the letter on Ahab's behalf, and she stamped it and she got the people to stone Nobath. Do you guys remember that? Daniel learned that this decree had been published. He went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to God just as he had done before. Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying, asking God for help. They had to use something they know Daniel was doing every day. So now they're going to use the fact that Daniel's praying to God and asking God for help with the very thing that they did against Daniel. Similar to how Pharaoh set it up and used the very thing that he manipulated the Israelites into not being able to do against them. So they went to the king and spoke to him about his royal decree. Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or human being except you, Your Majesty, will be thrown in the lion's den? The king answered, the decree stands in accordance with the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be repealed. Then they said to the king, Daniel, who is one of your exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, Your Majesty, or to the decree you put in writing. He still prays 3 times a day. When the king heard this, he was greatly distressed, and he was determined to rescue Daniel and made every effort until sundown to save him. Do you see how they manipulated the king into writing and sealing something that went against someone who he favors? How many people, how many of you guys have been in a situation, okay, and even though this is a message for that person pertaining to their family, this part of the message can resonate with anybody, where there's people that would hear something about you. They don't know that the people are talking about you. They don't know that whatever's being said about you is about you, and they participate in it, right? Or there's rumors and lies, and then they found out later on they were tricked into coming to agreement with it. They were tricked into participating into it, and they figure out a way on how they can fix it. They feel bad, like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? That's what happened with the king. Remember, they never told the king that they were setting up this law, and they were all coming into agreement to get him to set up this law to come against Daniel. See, had they said that, the king would not have done it, right? The king had good intentions towards Daniel. They had to manipulate the king into doing it. And that's what some people do. It's the spirit of Jezebel mixed with the spirit of Leviathan that operates this way. This is how people will try to turn good people against you and the people that love you against you, because they all went as a group and they inserted Daniel into drama. They inserted the king into drama. And they did this by using Daniel's good character against him, because they were irritated by Daniel's good character. Because in the beginning of Daniel, it says here that Daniel distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his exceptional qualities. Exceptional qualities. And that is what many of you guys have, exceptional qualities. Not just your anointing and your gifts, but your upright character through Christ, right? Then these men went as a group to King Darius and said to him, "Remember, your majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, no decree or edict that the king issues can be changed." So the king gave order, and they brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God, who you serve, continually rescue you." A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den. The king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the rings of his nobles, so that Daniel's situation might not be changed. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night without eating, without any entertainment being brought to him. He could not sleep. That was conviction. See, when people try to turn people that love you against you, and sometimes when they try to do this, the people they're trying to turn against you may not even know that it's about you. See, these people have a sneaky way of how to contact people and insert things pertaining to you around drama without mentioning your name, and then gathering up a group of people to come into agreement, and then later on mentioning your name. And the people that are discerned, and the people that, are upright, right, that participate, when God deals with them, they're going to be the ones that are feeling convicted. They're not able to rest because they're going to understand what's going on. And that's why the king was being convicted. The king could not sleep because he threw someone in the lion's den that he knows did not deserve it, that he knows is a good man, right? The first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came near the den, he called Daniel in an anguished voice. Oh, I'm going to cry. Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God whom you serve continually been able to rescue you from the lions? Daniel answered, "May the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lion. They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in the sight, nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty." The king was overjoyed and gave orders to lift Daniel out of the den. And when Daniel was lifted from out the den, no wound was found on him, because he had trusted his God. At the king's command, the men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den along with their wives and children. Before they reached the floor of the den, the lions empowered them and crushed their bones. Jesus. Now, I heard a lot of people say in the past that technically Daniel was not falsely accused because he did pray to God, right? And that was something that he was not supposed to do. But he was falsely accused, because you have to understand something. The law was revolved around something that Daniel was going to do anyways. Remember, it was the administrators and the satraps that went to the king originally. But then they had to say that the administrators, the satraps, the governors, and advisors all agreed that this law should be set. This rule should be set, right? So they had to add in a bunch of people. They had to come as a group in order to convince the king to come into agreement with setting this law. And they did not mention Daniel's name at all. So he was falsely accused because they revolved that law around something that he was going to do anyways, and something that was not bad, something that was good. And Daniel's an innocent man. So that falls into doing the very things, again, going back to Proverbs, that are detestable to the Lord. That is completely wickedness that was plotted, okay? And that is what many people have been doing to many of you guys, but particularly for the person this resonates with pertaining to family. The Lord is exalting you. The Lord said they like drama, and they have been trying to put you into a position, trying to throw you in the lion's den, basically trying to gather up a bunch of people to come against you, trying to ruin everything that you build, ruin your good character by inserting you, planting seeds and watering it. You see what I'm saying? Planting seeds and watering it and trying to get others to come into agreement with it in hopes that it would destroy you. But the Lord said it is not going to happen. He has saved you from the lion's den. Okay? And sad to say this, but because you're not like them and because you are set apart, you are doing the things that are upright and they're doing the things that are detestable to the Lord. The Lord says there's going to be serious consequences for these people trying to come against you. Okay, I love you guys so much. Whoever this is for, the Lord wants you to stay upright. Your good character is what is irritating them. This is why they keep trying to insert you into things. Okay, even though you're not involved in anything, people will eventually see who you are. Just like the king knew what kind of man Daniel was, and just like he couldn't sleep at night and he was convicted, and he even had to rush to the lion's den in the morning and he yelled Daniel's name in anguish because he knew what he did was not okay, was not right. There's people out there that know that whoever your family is going to and trying to plant these seeds of negativity and trying to get them to come into agreement, these people are going to find out the truth and they're going to be filled with conviction the way how the king was filled with conviction. If they had participated in these things and then they find out later on that what they participated in was manipulation, was toxicity, was gossip and drama, and these were all lies and plots and schemes to destroy you, they're going to be filled with conviction. Okay, so I love you guys. Continue to be upright through Christ. I'm excited for you guys, and I'm excited for whoever resonates with this. God is doing new things in this season for many people. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys later. Bye.